As you may hear in the background noise, I'm still at SPS IPC Drives show in Nuremberg. I'm now at the booth of Kontron, and I'm together with Paul Martzen. He is Global Technology Manager HMI, and we're talking about Kontron's HMI product line update. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you. We're going to cover today the new HMI product line from Kontron that we're launching this year at the 2013 SPS show. The very first product we'll cover is the OmniClient, which is the flagship of all of our HMI products. It's a brand new product that we started launching last year, and we've completed the whole product line this year. The OmniClient, as an overview, comes in 3 screen sizes. They're all widescreen and a 16:9 ratio aspect ratio. The display size is 21.5, 18.5, 15.6, and they're all in the PCAP, which is projected capacitive, which gives it an enhanced sensitivity and enhanced resolution. The legacy units used to be a resistive touch, and resistive touch tend to be fading out across the industry. So Kontron, to drive the industry, is adopting the PCAP across most of its product. The main processing unit is actually an i5 or an i7 using the 2nd generation Sandy Bridge, or also the 4th generation Haswell i7 and i5 processors. We base it upon a motherboard, which is a mobile motherboard with a KTQM67 and the KTQM87, which is the brand new motherboard from Kontron. All products are available to mount either in a panel mount or also as a VESA mount. They can also be powered with an AC or a DC power supply. The options also include a hard drive, solid-state drives, or M-SATA solid-state drives. The operating system is something we're particularly proud of because we offer one of the widest range of operating systems. Basically, every single operating system that you can have. You can have Windows 7 Ultimate, Windows 8, XP Embedded, Linux Embedded, and all of these are available off the shelf.
So what would you see are the most popular operating systems for such kind of application?
Currently, right now, I mean, what we're seeing is Windows 7 Ultimate, because it's multilingual. Everyone's used it before. It's industry standard across the product. Windows 8 started off being quite popular, and it will probably grow in popularity. But a lot of people are sort of backing away from Windows 8 until they find out, on the normal computers what's happening. So we do offer it, though. We offer it in a full multi-touch capability. In order to be a Windows 8 compliant machine, you have to have a minimum of 11 touches on it. So all of our displays are actually Windows 8 compliant, meaning you can have 11 fingers rather, moving objects, images, 3D models all around our unit using 11 fingers. One of the other things as well about our products is that they all come with the options of RFID, Wi-Fi, 5 megapixel 1080i camera. The other thing that we also offer as well is that if you look at all of our configurations and all of our options, we have 1,800 different options on the OmniClient line. So there's quite a lot of SKUs that are available under the OmniClient product. One of the things that we're particularly proud of with the OmniClient is that we've reached the finals of the 2014 Engineers' Choice Awards. This means that we're put against 7 of our competition, and in my personal opinion, I think the OmniClient will actually win it because it's a far superior product. So it's
So who are your major competitors, not for these awards, but in the market, really?
Sure. Basically, Advantech is the industry in our direct competition line. We have other ones, but like Aeon, but really Advantech are the ones that are the biggest challenge that we've had. And obviously their flagship is the one that we gauged our flagship on. So if I look side by side, it's the OmniClient is a very, very strong position to win this award.
Okay.
That award is actually presented in March of 2014 with the awards. The winners announced in February, so I'm looking forward to going to that dinner. The I/O panel on the OmniClient. On the right-hand side, it leads with the power supply. The AC one you can see is actually in this image with a power switch. It's available with European power cords, American power cords, British power cords. The DC one looks slightly different with the fact that the DC actually has a terminal block, and you actually connect into the terminal block as opposed to a connector. Above the power supply unit, we have a one-slot PCIe expansion that can be populated with anything inside, and it's very easily adapted by the customer, by any of our distribution centers, by ourselves. We take off one cover off the top and we can put in any of the expansion slots. Next to that, next to the power supply, there's two punch-outs. Those punch-outs we can mount a 232, 422 or 45 port connectors, which is one of our options. To the left of it, you can see all the connections that are on the Mini ITX KTQM 67 or the KTQM 87. We have a wide range of Ethernet, USBs, USB 2.0 and 3.0. We have data ports, we have DVI, and we have audio. So all the standard connections are available. Along with above that, there's a large cooling duct, because it is a fanned unit currently. The next slide goes through all of our options that are available. The three screen sizes are shown across the top with the 15.6, the 18.5 and the 21.5. All are available currently, and all have multiple options. So you can go down and configure them exactly how you want. We have a set number of units available right now which are configured a certain way and are available. Our goal is to basically give a unit in the customer's hand in the prototype level within 2 weeks. The data sheet for the OmniClient is it makes very interesting reading, because when you look at it side by side with our previous legacy units or our competition, it shows basically how we've grown as a company in the HMI world. We used to have a wide offering before, but it never really came together as a family. And now we're actually bringing the HMI group as a family. They'll have the same looks, the same feel, the same rugged, industrial look, the same feel, the same functionality. It's actually very, very exciting that we haven't got multiple looks, multiple fields, multiple finishes. It's going to be one look and one feel. The certifications, we are CE and UL certified. The I/O, as we talked about, they all qualify to within norm industry standard. So the temperature range is within norm. The shock and vibes all within norm. So we try to sort of like push it to the point where within reason we can have an industry standard product without exceeding the boundaries of any function. I'm going to redo that one. I'm not going to say that one. So I'll redo that slide.
So we redo the OmniClient system data sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
The OmniClient data sheet covers the product line as it stands right now. It details out all the options that are available and the standard products as well. It also shows out that we actually CE qualified and UL qualified, along with all the shock and vibe and altitude constraints that we do meet and or exceed. All of our products are RoHS compliant, and RoHS 2 compliant is something that we're going for as well. The only thing that drives the RoHS compliance right now is the fact that the motherboard is a RoHS and not RoHS 2. The new motherboard is RoHS 2, so we'll become a RoHS 2 compliant machine as well. One of the features of the OmniClient is the functionality that we can actually take the CPU section off the back of it and make it either into a touch monitor, or we can make it into a remote solution, which is very similar to a desktop computer, which we actually call the Omni Remote and the Omni View. So the Omni View is the monitor solution, and it's available in the 3 different sizes. So we have the 15.6 size, the 18.5 size, and the 21.5 size. They're all Visa mount and all available right now. The touch solution is basically exactly the same as what it is on the OmniClient, so it's a PCAP, and the only change would be the 24 volt input to it. We have a DVI input, a DisplayPort input, and a VGA input as standard. On the next slide, you can actually see the options that are available. The product as a monitor, there are no real options available. The only option is really the size of the monitor. It's very similar when you buy a monitor from anyone else. The next slide details out what the I/O is. The I/O is it's comprehensive. There's not really many people in the world that couldn't either connect to a VGA input, a DVI, or a data port, a display port rather. We have 2 power inputs that are available. There's a DC power jack, very similar to what you would find on most laptops and most handheld computers. And also we have a power Molex, which basically is a locking device that actually, in an industrial environment, rather than have a jack that may unplug, this is actually a locking connector, so it will never come undone. The USB-B is the one that it drives the touch solution. So if the customer would actually like the touch panel to work, all you do is connect that to the CPU section, and you have a remote touch solution. Which brings us nicely to the remote solution. One of the ways that we're demonstrating the functionality of the OmniClient is actually presented as a simulator, a gaming simulator, where we would have 3 OmniViews being driven by the one OmniClient rear section. We've actually built these units now, and they've actually been presented at the Las Vegas gaming show, where a lot of our customers have come along and sat down and raced around Le Mans and raced around Monaco. It's a good way of demonstrating the full graphics capability that's available as well. Once we load on a high-end graphics card, we have the 7-to-1 sound, and a full graphics representation of a Formula 1 racing car.
But this is more like a demonstration rather than a serious application, or is it?
It's actually a serious application as well. I mean, we have gaming companies that actually would like to buy the OmniClient and actually start presenting it. But it really is just to demonstrate what the OmniClient can do in the remote solution. The true functionality or the true representation of what the Omni Remote would be used for would be where the display can be next to the machine, but the processor is protected away, maybe underneath the machine, under an access panel. So it's not in the extreme environment that the display would be in. Because the rear section is only an IP20, which is egress protection, there may be a high humidity, high smoke, dust, so you want to protect that one. But the front panel is actually an IP65, which means you can spray it with water, etc. And this is a lot more fun than putting it on a machine. Basically, the Omni Remote has all the functionality of the OmniClient and all the functionality of the OmniView, just for the fact that it is actually an OmniView connected to an OmniClient CPU section. On the system layout slide, we detail out basically how the OmniView can be connected to the OmniClient rear section. It doesn't actually have to be the OmniClient rear section to be an Omni Remote. It can be one of our box PCs. So we're starting to bring in the other product lines of Kontron. We brought in the boards, we brought in the software, and now we're bringing in the box PCs where we can have a C101 or a B101 driving the OmniView. Because it's a conduction cooled, it's a fanless box PC. It's withstand a higher environmental stress factor, and then we have the OmniView, which is also once again the IP65. We have the 2 cables connected into. We're actually changing it to one connector, so we'll have one cable which will also route the DVI cable, which is the vision the signal, if you like, to the OmniView, and also the Cat5, which is only used for the USB, which is the touch. So if you only want the touch and the vision, then you have both those cables. If you want just the actual vision itself, just to be used as a monitor, then you only connect the DVI or the data port, the display port. That brings it very nicely to the Micro Client. The Micro Client 3 and the Micro Client 3W, 3W standing for widescreen, is the mid-range HMI product line. It's one that's been around for a while in different forms. We've had the Micro Client 1, Micro Client 1A, 2, 2A, and now we've evolved to the 3 and the 3W. So the Micro Client 3W is the mid-range, mid-entry range with 15:6, 16:9 ratio projected capacitive, along with 4 resistive touch in the 10-inch to 17-inch range, in the 4:3 normal aspect ratio. The 15.6 widescreen, it also comes from the OmniClient. It's available. You can either mount it with a Micro Client rear or an OmniClient rear, giving the customer an option about whether he wants a high-end computing solution with a lower-end display or a higher-end display with a lower-end computing solution. And you can see on the slide 23, there's actually that we have a silver looking Micro Client, and we have the OmniClient Black Edge one. Both are available, so you can have one that with the silver surround, you can have one with the black surround. Both have RFID, both have Wi-Fi. They both would be driven by whatever processor you want, whether it's the Atom processor or whether it's the Intel processor. We can see that we have the 5 screen sizes across the top. The options that are available for the Micro Client are actually a lot limited, a lot less than what the OmniClient is. The Micro Client is it's designed to be extremely user-friendly, extremely customer-oriented. You know, you buy it, you get it, it works. There's not much you can do to it. It's a plug-and-play type machine. All of the OmniClient and the Micro Client, all the HMI product line, are all designed to be a global entity, meaning that we are CE and UL qualified. So it's regardless of where you are in the world, you're certified and you meet all the compliance requirements. The Micro Client datasheet shows exactly what options are available and what certifications we have. You can see once again we meet all the standard industry requirements of the shock, vibe, altitude, temperature. It's a very robust little computer. It's a very robust computer solution for the HMI product line. And that's basically it. The way Kontron stands right now, the HMI product line, it's coming together to be a very complete product line. There's not much we can't offer to a customer. There's not much we can't do. So that's where we are with HMI.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you.